So this one's kind of interesting, man. Marvel Avengers Doomsday reshoots begin as Teyonah Parris spotted on set filming new scenes. What? Note, this post contains some potential spoilers. Following the wrap of Marvel's Avengers Doomsday, reshoots have begun during post-production. Teyonah Parris has reportedly started filming her scenes for Doomsday. According to insider James Mack, Parris was spotted on set for the reshoots. She will reprise her role as Monica, who first appeared in WandaVision and later in the Marvels. Okay, so that's interesting. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to James Mack, it's tough because I just don't know with this guy. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of indication that he had access to some leaks from a Scooper Discord, and he's basically been just regurgitating those leaks up there. But I think he's also tried to, like, get out there and break some scoops and stuff from other people. So we got to take this with a massive grain of salt. Massive grain of salt, okay? And if this is indeed true, chat, more people will report on it. This is not going to fly under the radar, okay? In today's day and age, with everybody's that's over there, if this is actually true and they're starting to do the reshoots, we're going to hear a lot about that. I do think this tracks with, from what I understood the timing to be, although there's an argument to be made that, like, maybe they want to wait until after the holiday season. But I don't know, chat. My impression here is you actually do want to, like, get some work in right now. So, like, basically from here into November, maybe even into mid-December, is actually a good time to get a chunk of shooting. And you'll remember that way back in the day when they were making Multiverse of Madness, that was a thing. They shot 7 days a week, 16-hour days, for 6 weeks, starting in, like, November, before that movie came out. So they did, like, basically a whole nother movie worth of shooting in that time period. So I think they will probably shoot, you know, have the crew working, and then let everybody go home for the holidays, and then come back, as opposed to allowing everybody to just, like, be gone and skeleton crew until after the holidays. Frankly, I don't think they have enough time to do that. I think there's too much to do. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually real. It does kind of line up with my understanding of how these reshoots would go. So again, we'll get more information if that's actually what it is. Now, it is a little bit interesting that it is Teyonah. If it is actually Monica, that's interesting. She could be shooting any number of things, right? So the last time we saw her was at the end of the Marvels, and she's with the X-Men of that universe, which is reported to have a lot of screen time and a lot to do in Doomsday. So she could be shooting with the X-Men actors. It is also possible she's shooting with the Avengers, because I believe they probably will recruit her, like, get her back, like, find her, you know what I mean? Like, I'd imagine they're going to get her. So they could be shooting stuff with her then. I tend to believe, chat, and I wonder what you guys think about this. I actually tend to believe that Monica and the sort of spectrum powers that she has are going to be pretty important. And they could be something that Doctor Doom needs, or they could be something that Reed Richards wants, or the Avengers want, or maybe Loki wants to try to, like, stop Doctor Doom. So I do get a sense that she's relatively important to the plot of the film. She's important in the sense that she's a catalyst to stuff, for sure, just being the thing, you know, causing the incursion and shit like that, right? But possible even more. And there's questions of, like, okay, so if they're making the arcs, right? And there's some evidence that they are making the arcs. So the sort of TLDR of this, guys, and, like, many of you know this, but just if you don't, it feels as though incursions are happening. Doom is looking for things. Ultimately, he's trying to get to where Loki is. Ultimately, he's trying to recreate all of reality and stop the incursions from destroying the multiverse. But he's going to basically create Battleworld, okay? And we don't know exactly what that's going to look like, but for all intents and purposes, it is very likely that there are no other universes really left, and instead all that's left is Battleworld and maybe like dying timelines, dead timelines, dying timelines, and shit like that, right? Okay, so then like there's this concept of the arcs, where when we get into Secret Wars, there's very likely to be a whole bunch of Marvel characters that essentially just live on Battleworld, meaning like Doom goes out, grabs up as many characters as he can from the dying multiverse, smashes them all together, and creates Battleworld, and there will be Marvel characters there like that. But just like in the Jonathan Hickman Secret Wars run, it's very likely also going to be the case that certain characters from their universes are going to be in a craft called the Raft, which would survive the collapse of the multiverse and then pop up on Battleworld. And so therefore, like from the story structure perspective, what you then have is characters that remember the old universe, characters that remember the way things were, right? And that is useful to the story because then they're going to try to uncover the truth, expose Doom, and try to fix everything, right? So that's very useful. I think it's possible Monica Rambeau is a part of the team that survives into Battleworld, the team that survives on the Ark. And it is even possible that her powers are maybe what allows them all to do that and to pop up on Battleworld. So, look, she's awesome, man. I think she's a great actor. I think she's kind of a fan favorite, to be honest. Like, we've talked about this before, but, like, respectfully, you know, with all due respect, Monica Rambeau, like, that thing is crazy. And also, like, she's just, like, more fun and chill than a lot of the other female characters. It's weird. Like, I don't know. She's just chill. People like her. So you can't predict some of this stuff, right? It's like wrestling. Who's going over? Who's the babyface? Who's the heel? You can't force this stuff. Sometimes, like, the crowd just resonates with a certain character. You know, they're trying to make fetch happen with Miss Marvel. They're trying to make fetch happen with Brie Larson. It's not going, you know? Monica's dope, dude. People like Monica. She was cool in WandaVision. She's fucking cool, dude. She's cool. We like Monica. So you got a good one that people like. And especially with all these other female characters that people are really not fucking with. It's just, I think that's a very valuable thing. So I say put her in there, man. Throw her in there, and I'd like to see her in Secret Wars have a good role in Secret Wars. And I think that's maybe just one of the ways you could utilize her character or whatever. So a lot to be said there. Again, I think to take it back to the sort of reshooting thing, if they are actually reshooting, because James Mack has gotten stuff right. It's difficult, man. It's difficult because I don't think he's actually like a great scooper, but he does have stuff right. He has gotten stuff right. He did have that Discord stuff. So maybe he's right. Maybe they're reshooting. I think we'll find out soon. So anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about that, man? Any takes? The fucking kittens, come on. That scene in the Marvels is not what Marvel needed. Yeah. That's probably a bad look. I made a short a while back about how her and Miss Marvel powers can work together. Oh, okay, nice. Oh, I like that. I like that idea, man. I mean, they kind of set that up in the Marvels movie, which is your favorite movie, Kendall. So that's probably why you cooked that theory. Tim O'Brien says, here's a super to tell you about my missed super. I think I read your missed super, bruh. I think I read that. Let me see it, Tim. Oh, a $10 holla. Appreciate it, man. Says it's crazy how many people didn't see the nuance of what you were saying with that tweet, the trolling, the rage baiting of it, LOL. It went over the heads of people who just want an excuse for outrage. I think there's a lot of truth in what you're saying. I think there's probably some well-meaningful people that are not seeing it. You know, even some of these people, it's not even necessarily their fault. I try to have a lot of empathy, man. But I also gots to call it like I sees it, you know? So I actually don't have like animus towards these people, and it's like whatever, right? And in some ways, it's not their fault that, like, you know, division and media and social influence and people, you know, bad actors and everything's so hostile and everything. You know, it's not their fault. Are you going to see Avatar to see the Doomsday trailer? No, but I'm very excited to see the Doomsday trailer. I like Avatar, bro. I like Jake Sully, man. I like those movies. So I'm going for the love of the game, but also I will be very excited to see the Doomsday trailer, yeah. Should I do an out-of-theater reaction? Should I watch the Doomsday trailer, come out and do an out-of-theater reaction, and then go back in and watch Avatar? That'd be kind of fun. Doom wants the Bengals and the 10 Rings, which will be 2 of the MacGuffins in his movie. We haven't heard anything about that in a long time, though. I mean, I understand where you're coming from, and I think, like, yeah, that would be cool. But I'm starting to, like, not be sure about that. Just because we haven't heard, like, anything about that, you know? Def need to record it and post it on Twitter. Yeah, I think that'd be the move, yeah. Yeah, that'd be the move. Maybe if I had people to help me post things, I could post more. Maybe if I had people helping me post things, we could do a little bit more posting here, huh? Loose ends everywhere. Yeah, a little bit. No, the actual trailer. No, I'm not doing that. Why? So you can see it? No. You can hear me yap about it. Get an Instagram to post. I do need to get on Instagram a little bit more. Especially because we're going to start the OnlyFans soon. And I've heard Instagram is a great way to promote your OnlyFans. So, you know. It'll be good. I'm down for Susanna Hoffs. I don't know what that means. Josh, what if the Doomsday plan in the movie isn't Battleworld, but the Avengers actually stopping him and inadvertently cause Battleworld? Ooh, that could be interesting. Yeah, that could be really interesting, man. Outer Rim Transmission says, Avatar is off the radar for me. Not really a fan. No hate towards it, but crazy how it's zero pop culture influence. Yeah, that is interesting. But you know what it kind of reminds me of is I think anime has a cultural influence, but I think a lot of people don't see it. So in a similar way, I think some people would look at anime and Demon Slayer and make that same comparison. And yet it's like crushing. It's so obviously relevant, right? But I do get what you're saying, because it does have that same feeling, right? Where it's like, damn, the shit popped. It's like that movie in China that made like $2 billion. It's like, nobody's talking about this, you know? Yo, we love anime. I do love anime. I just think a lot of, like, I've had people in our chat be like, anime sucks. Anime's a fad or a phase, you know? It's, you know? And I'm like, nah, dude, like, anime's actually kind of lit. Yeah. It feels like anime and some of these series have more of a philosophical influence. I think there's some of that. Yeah, some of them do, yeah. Yeah, for sure. If you guys hate anime, I really feel like you're missing out, man. Anime is, there's just really great stories, man. There's just like some really great stories. Some really great stories out there. You know? Okay. Fuck anime, it's just gooner bait. See, that's what I mean. It's like there's people like Josh that like actually have that opinion. You know? Crazy. Crazy, Josh. Wild. You should tell Star Wars Theory to add your channel link to the Nerd Theory description. I couldn't find it until it did some detective work. Well, first of all, thanks for finding me. And yeah, we should probably all do a little bit better at that. I don't even have a Linktree link on my Twitter. I should probably have a Linktree link, because I made a Linktree link to like all the channels and all the accounts. And I deadass don't have shit on mine. You look at my Twitter and it's like, no link, you know? How am I supposed to get OnlyFans? How am I supposed to get people on my OnlyFans? I need a link.